So Khan Academy is a resource for teachers, and it's a website, but they came out with an AI tool called Kahnmigo, and it's free AI powered tools, and it's just to help teachers create lesson plans. But there's a couple of different really cool tools that are on here that I have used in my classroom successfully. So I'm just going to give you an overview of it so that way you know a little bit about how to use it effectively and some of the different ways that you can implement it into your lesson plans. So looking at the homepage, you of course have to make a account. These are free. I don't believe our school pays for this. Um, so that's awesome. So on the homepage, when you log in, you click the Kahnmigo and it comes up under as Kahnmigo Tools, and then there is a tab for classes, and that just shows where you can create a class and add your students in your classroom. You can click students, and that is where you will see a list of your students if you create a class on here. And there's additional resources for like goal setting, student printables, and just a couple of other lesson plan templates and stuff like that. So those are some great resources. So I'm going to go back to the Kahnmigo tools. And looking at this, you can see that there's a favorites tab where you can add some of your favorite tools that you use daily or just whenever you feel like it. There's all tools, so let me just give you an overview. There's a booklet generator. I've used this a couple times. My students, especially if you have students that have Chromebooks, they really enjoy interacting with those fun games. But if you click on it, you can go to the booklet generator and it will let you pick what grade that you want to pick. So mine is second. The topic, and then write the standards in and additional notes and just overall what you want it to say, and click start and it will generate it for you and put it on Bookit. And I just think that's very useful. I've used it for a lot of my curriculum. Um, so I just think that's a really good tool. So another tool that's really great as well is, and I've used this too, is the exit tickets and lesson plan tools. I'm just going to give you a couple of different tutorials for those. So the exit ticket allows you to pick the grade level. So I'm going to do second. And then you can write what your learning objective is. So say I want to do, right now we're doing word problems. Let's do more specifically addition word problems. Oh, excuse me. So you're going to click start and it will generate it for you. And AI uses its tools to generate some exit ticket questions and give you a time limit. So if you're looking for a way to implement that in your classroom, this is a good way to just find a quick one to put up on your board or on a PowerPoint, and it'll generate some ideas for you. So that's a good example of using an exit ticket or using one of the tools effectively for your lesson plan needs. Going back to Kahnmigo, it's a tongue twister, is looking at some of like the IEP assistant if you're an EC teacher, looking at how you can generate report card comments. So if you're trying to figure out what you want to put on your report card, you can look at this tab and figure out what, like put the student's name, grade level, some of the strengths and highlights and areas for improvement, and it'll generate those comments for you. So I actually haven't added my classes here, but that's very easy to do. So different tabs appear like for planning, you have class snapshot, discussion prompts, exit tickets, learning objectives, lesson hook, lesson plan, and recommended assignments. Create tab is the one where you get kind of creative with the Bookit and the rubric generator and multiple choice quiz, which this one's really cool too. You can open it and it'll generate a multiple choice quiz on what subject you're looking for. So say you're teaching fifth grade and you want to, fifth grade. And you want to teach them, I'm trying to think of fifth grade standard off the top of my head. Let's see, assembly. I think I put smile. Yep, okay. Figurative language. So you're teaching a figurative language standard. So you can change the options and put them in, and then for the number of questions, click start, and it'll generate your questions for the quiz. And it takes a second to load, but it's working. Here you go. what is a simile, what's a metaphor, and then if you want to, it also creates answer key. There you go. If you want to edit it, it'll let you edit with all these tools up here. So if you want to change the paragraph and the way it's written and change the way you have it listed, you can do that as well. So always make sure you're looking over questions, and if you like them, if you want to use them. That's just kind of a rule of thumb with AI. You can share, print, export, so you can do whatever you would like to after it generates and after you've made the improvements that you would want to, or if you want to leave it the same. So that's another way that you can use that to put in your lesson plans, to do a quick mini quiz and then move on to the next subject or move on to the next learning topic. Differentiate is kind of cool too, because you can do a real world context generator. I'm narrowing on this one because I've used it. But you can play around with it. So say you want to teach, we'll do first grade, and you're going to learn about weather patterns or something like that. You just type it in and click start, and it will generate for you. Understanding weather patterns through everyday experiences. And it'll bring up ideas like dressing for the day and weather planning outdoor activities, and just a couple different things that you can focus on for your lesson plan. So that's another great tool to bring it into a real world context. So let's go back to the tools. And there are a bunch of different tools, so feel free to navigate and explore all the options that they have, and see what would best fit you and your lesson plans and your grade level. Support is another one of those tabs, so this is specifically for IEP writing and SMART goal writing. If you're an EC teacher, you can check those out. Refresh my knowledge is just learning your content knowledge in various subjects. So if you have a specific tool that you use the most, like I use the Flip It generator most, I can star it and it'll go into my favorites. Sometimes I do the chunk text and break that down. And I also use typically the real world context generator. And so now when you go into your favorites, those that you have starred will be right there, so you don't have to search through the whole list. Now, your documents tab over here, it'll pull up everything that you've researched. So if you're looking back like you want to use it for another year, you can pull it back up. Like recently I did the OY vowel sounds and actually used it, and it'll pull it back up for you if you need to use it again. And that way it doesn't get lost. So that's a little bit on how to use Kahnmigo and Migo, I'll say that quickly. And if you want, you can always generate something on here, add it to your Google Classroom. It's very versatile. And that's just a little bit about it. Trying to think of other tools. AI really generates everything in here. I guess up here too, there's teacher tools, my documents, and writing coach. I'll go writing coach real quick and pull that up. Sorry, it's loading a little bit. So KhanAcademy.org also has a couple of other resources besides AI, but you can check that out on your own as well. This is just like a writing coach sign up if you need help with writing and adding it to your profile. I actually haven't used it, but I guess I need to navigate that a little bit more. But if there's something specific you're looking for, this is where you're going to find it, especially with all the AI tools. And I think it's a great resource for teachers to implement them and put them in their lesson plans. So this is another great tool to use if you're looking for something quick and easy, and AI will generate it for you. So check it out. It's really cool.